Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. If you want to consume me, then you have the wrong idea. A sneer appeared at the corner of Su Yan's mouth. He also did not expect that the flying soldiers would even use flying combat ships against him. Although these flying soldiers use flying combat ships against their own, Su Yan has some surprises. He also knows that these people's flying combat ships are equipped with a large number of weapons. If they want to destroy this flying combat ship, it is also a very simple matter. In this case, he can only use other methods. He thought of this with a calm expression on his face, and then began to control the Hyperion. At this time, under the control of Su Yan, the Hyperion slammed into the energy shield of this planetary fortress violently. I want to completely destroy the energy shield of this planetary fortress and turn it into ruins. However, no matter how fierce the Hyperion's offensive was, this planetary fortress was still not affected in the slightest, and it still stayed there steadily. Seeing this scene, Su Yan couldn't help but wonder, what kind of defense does this have? Are their energy shields so powerful? The Hyperion continued to crash into the planetary fortress. Rumbling. A violent explosion also sounded above this planetary fortress. Suddenly, the energy shield above the entire planetary fort also experienced some violent shocks. However, Su Yan did not expect that after releasing the super energy bomb, it would not be able to cause too much damage to the energy shield on this planetary fortress. Just left some small traces on this planetary fortress. This made Su Yan frown, and she couldn't help but be a little surprised. I thought how powerful it was, but it turned out to be just an empty shell. It seems that I have to use other methods to solve it. Immediately, Su Yan didn't hesitate anymore. He manipulated the Hyperion and slammed into this planetary fortress. Boom! There was another violent roar, and under the collision of the Hyperion, the energy shield above this planetary fortress finally began to crack. Then, a huge hole appeared in the energy shield above this planetary fortress. This time, the Hyperion's attack also completely hit this planetary fortress. Puff! The energy shield of the planetary fortress was penetrated, and the Hyperion continued to sprint forward, and finally slammed into this incomparably huge planet, slamming the giant planet into a forcible impact. It flew up and flew towards the distance. Under Su Yan's manipulation, it slammed into this huge meteorite violently, and instantly became torn apart. Boom! The meteorites also fell into the ocean, stirring up countless waves. The planetary fortress did not just dissipate. Su Yan also did not expect that his attack did not completely destroy the energy shield on this planetary fortress. It seems that the energy shield on this planetary fortress is much more difficult to deal with than he imagined. He also understood that these energy shields on this planetary fortress are by no means so simple. I don't believe that my attack can't destroy your defense. Su Yan can't help but get a little angry. He was also a little embarrassed. The defensive power on this planetary fortress is indeed somewhat terrifying. The energy shield on this planetary fortress, after all, is also constructed of energy, not real energy. This kind of energy weapon of Su Yan, although the power is also extremely tyrannical. The energy shield on this planetary fortress is still incomparably strong, and it is not so easy to destroy the energy shield of this planetary fortress. The energy shield on this planetary fortress can still be preserved even if it was destroyed by Su Yan's attack by the Hyperion. This is the horror of Planet Fortress. After smashing a huge planetary fortress, the Hyperion crashed towards another giant planetary fortress. Su Yan also wanted to try it out. What kind of defense is this planetary fortress? After the Hyperion hit two planetary fortresses, it continued to collide with one planetary fortress. This time, the Hyperion hit harder. The energy shield on the planetary fortress finally could not withstand the attack of the Hyperion, and it also collapsed. The Hyperion finally broke through this planetary fortress and entered this giant planet. Su Yan came to this planet. On this planet, there are many energy bodies. Boom! the Hyperion continued to impact and rammed forward. After smashing a few energy bodies, it directly broke through a channel. Su Yan's Hyperion also entered the planetary fortress directly from this passage. 0. After entering this planet, Su Yan immediately turned the bow and headed towards the center of the planetary fortress. Su Yan arrived at the center of this planetary fortress. In the center of this planetary fortress, there is a building. This building is also wrapped by a layer of energy shield, and outside this layer of energy shield, there are endless mecha soldiers standing there. This group of mecha soldiers, all armed with weapons, were firing frantically at Su Yan's Hyperion. Su Yan immediately launched an attack on these mecha soldiers, causing these mecha soldiers to suffer heavy casualties and could not stop the attack of Su Yan, the Hyperion. After Su Yan controlled the Hyperion to break through this layer of energy shield, he also directly broke into this planetary fortress. This planetary fortress, in Su Yan's view, should be just a decoration on this planetary fortress. In his opinion, these defensive weapons on this planetary fortress can only be used to block some ordinary humans. But the Hyperion under the control of Su Yan is also invincible. Its speed and strength are far beyond ordinary space battleships. Therefore, the Hyperion easily broke through this layer of energy shield and directly entered the interior of this planetary fortress. Su Yan also felt that there seemed to be an energy deficit in the center of this planetary fortress. This mass of energy is the core area of the planetary fortress. As long as this group of energy can be destroyed, the defense ability of the planetary fortress can be destroyed. This is why Su Yan chose this planetary fortress, because at its core, there is a mass of energy. As long as this group of energy can be destroyed, the defense on this planetary fortress can be completely destroyed. Su Yan's Hyperion quickly rushed past. Under the force of this shock, Su Yan's Hyperion was also very fast, and at this time it was very relaxed, and it came to the place where this mass of energy was. Su Yan didn't dare to hesitate, and directly used his ability to launch a full-strength attack on this group of energy. Bang! An energy cannon was shot by Su Yan. 170. This energy cannon directly hit this mass of energy. The moment the mass of energy was hit, the energy immediately collapsed, turned into a little light, and disappeared in front of Su Yan's eyes. This energy cannon was actually destroyed by Su Yan. Seeing this result, Su Yan was even more surprised. Unexpectedly, this energy is still very hard. No matter what, I will definitely take this energy. Su Yan's eyes are fixed on this empty void. Then he steered the Hyperion, flew forward, and looked for it. On this planetary fortress, Su Yan can find that the center of this planetary fortress is where a core is located. That is the energy core of this planetary fortress. The place where the energy core is located is the weak place in the defense of the planetary fortress. Here, Su Yan can easily destroy the energy shield of the planetary fortress, and then use his own attack to destroy the energy core of this planetary fortress. At this time, Su Yan also quickly rushed towards the place where the energy was. In Su Yan driving the Hyperion, he kept approaching the place where the energy was. The Hyperion was very fast, and within a few minutes, Su Yan arrived at the center of the planet. At this time, the center of this planetary fortress was also shrouded in energy. This mass of energy is the energy shield on this planetary fortress, and it is the energy core of this planetary fortress. Inside this group of energy shields, there is a group of energy groups. It is the core of the energy shield and the energy core of the entire planetary fortress. If this group of energy can be destroyed, then this planetary fortress can be completely destroyed. At this time, Su Yan's Hyperion was approaching where the energy group was. Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion to approach this energy group, and the attacking power of his Hyperion began to come into play. The Hyperion's energy cannon, at this time, kept spitting out energy cannonballs from the energy cannon, and kept attacking the energy group. The Hyperion's energy cannon is very sharp. Under the artillery attack of the Hyperion, the energy of this energy group was scattered. Around this mass of energy, the energy began to gradually become scarce. Bang bang bang. The Hyperion's energy cannon kept exploding on this mass of energy. Under the bombardment of the Hyperion energy cannon, the energy group began to dim. Su-Yan knew that this mass of energy was about to be shattered. And this mass of energy is going to disappear completely. This is a good news. Under the energy attack of the Hyperion, this mass of energy was about to be exhausted. And the Hyperion will completely destroy this planetary fortress. Seeing this scene, Su-Yan put a smile on her face. At this time, the Hyperion had already arrived at the location of this mass of energy. At this time, the Hyperion also directly fired an energy cannon. The energy cannon of Su-Yan's Hyperion was about to hit this group of energy. This mass of energy was completely ruptured and completely disappeared in this space. With the rupture of this mass of energy, within Su-Yan's field of vision, a huge circular energy spar appeared. And the energy in this round energy spar was absorbed cleanly and completely disappeared. And this energy spar is the core of this planetary fortress. The core energy of this planetary fortress has all been obtained by Su-Yan. After this energy spar was broken, a tyrannical energy burst out from the energy spar. Su-Yan knew that this energy was the core of this planetary fortress. Boom! At this moment, there was a loud explosion sound. With this explosion, a huge mushroom cloud rose up. At this time, a huge mushroom cloud rose up in this void. Above this mushroom cloud, there is a terrifying energy storm. A terrifying coercion of energy also permeated this void. And Su-Yan felt that this energy coercion was several times stronger than when he was outside the energy fort before. At this time, Su-Yan knew that the defense system of this energy fortress was really destroyed. Su-Yan's Hyperion was a violent tremor. The Hyperion was shaken violently by this energy, almost crashing into the energy mountain ahead. Su-Yan quickly stabilized her figure. The hatch of the Hyperion opened, and Su-Yan walked down. At this time, Su-Yan looked towards the energy fortress. During the battle just now, the outer energy of the 2.6 energy fortresses had been destroyed by Su-Yan. But at this time, the energy core still exists. Su-Yan saw the position of the energy core, where there is a mass of energy. Around this mass of energy, there is also a mass of energy, and around this mass of energy, a mass of energy is wandering. It seems that these energies should be the energy core. Su-Yan looked at the position of the energy core and said. Su-Yan controlled the Hyperion to continue approaching this energy core. The Hyperion moved extremely quickly. Soon, the Hyperion came to the vicinity of this energy core. Su-Yan's eyes were placed on this energy core. This energy core is not very large, only the size of a palm, showing a black color. On the surface of this energy core, there are clumps of energy, clumps of white airflow. Su-Yan's Hyperion stayed beside this energy core and did not move forward. The energy of this group of energy cores is still quite huge. If Su-Yan destroys this energy core at this time, then Su-Yan will not get the energy in this energy core. However, Su-Yan is also a smart person. He knows that the energy core is very precious and cannot be destroyed like this. Su-Yan was thinking, how can I get this energy core? The value of the energy core is definitely not only this. The value of this energy core, there must be other things, such as the core structure of this energy core, and the way of energy input, etc. This energy input method is a very important treasure. The Hyperion began to run with energy. The energy on the Hyperion was continuously released and entered into this energy core. During this energy entry, Su-Yan was watching. He knew that he had to find the output port 31 of the energy core to be able to transfer energy into the energy core. The energy on the Hyperion has always been injected into the energy core. Bunch of energy continuously entered into this energy core. These energies are all one-time energies of the Hyperion. If the Hyperion's energy is exhausted, the Hyperion's combat effectiveness will be weakened. This time, the Hyperion spent a lot of energy. This energy has almost been consumed. Su-Yan's Hyperion is already at its best. At this time, the Hyperion had already made preparations and was ready to attack this energy core. Above the Hyperion, a red light shone. The Hyperion began to operate. And at this moment, the energy cannon on the Hyperion began to attack. A red energy cannon beam was released from the Hyperion energy cannon. In this energy cannon beam, there is unparalleled destructive power, and with unparalleled high temperature, it can easily burn everything. The energy beam of the Hyperion directly charged towards this energy core. When the energy beam slammed away, the energy core trembled for a while. Su Yan looked at this scene and secretly cried out for danger. Fortunately, he didn't attack immediately. If he attacked immediately, he would definitely not be able to damage this energy core. Although this energy beam was bombarded a few times on the energy shield of the energy core, but Su Yan still felt that this energy shield, at this time, even had a slight crack. This energy shield is energy armor. The defense power of the energy armor is extremely high, and it can resist a lot of energy attacks, but the energy shield is attacked by this energy beam, and this situation occurs, which also shows that the energy of this energy beam, very powerful. Not only is there a crack on the energy shield, but the energy of this energy shield has been consumed a lot. Su Yan found that this energy shield also seems to need to consume some energy. That is to say, the energy consumption on the energy shield is to be supplemented by consuming the energy inside the energy shield. If the energy of the Hyperion is exhausted, the energy inside this energy shield will become weak. At that time, it means that the energy in the energy core will be consumed and destroyed. The Hyperion's attack is still constantly attacking this energy shield. The energy beam attacked on the Hyperion, constantly attacking the energy shield. The energy above this energy shield has become weaker and weaker. Su Yan could feel that the energy of this energy shield was about to dissipate. Without hesitation, Su Yan directly ordered the Hyperion, continue to attack me with this energy shield. At this time, the Hyperion immediately took action. The attack of the energy beam is constantly bombarding the energy shield, causing the energy on the energy shield to be continuously consumed. The energy above the energy shield is constantly weakening. Su Yan's heart became a little nervous, and he stared at the energy fluctuations on the energy shield. At this time, it has been seen that the energy fluctuations on the energy shield are getting weaker and weaker, and it is about to reach the critical point of collapse. At this moment, the energy beams on the Hyperion all bombarded the energy shield. The energy shield was attacked by the energy beam and exploded. After the energy shield exploded, a huge shock wave was generated, impacting everything around it. The surrounding energy, at this time, is constantly oscillating. During this explosion, Su Yan saw that there was a black stone inside the energy shield. This black stone is like a black hole, constantly swallowing everything around it. At this moment, Su Yan felt an attraction coming from this black hole, and wanted to pull him in and devour him. Not good. Su Yan felt that something was wrong, and he quickly controlled the Hyperion 187 and left the place. At this time, the energy beam also landed in this area, covering the entire area within the coverage of this beam. The Hyperion was not attacked. In this area, Su Yan's figure was revealed. Su Yan glanced at the Hyperion's energy shield. The Hyperion existed in this area unscathed and suffered no damage at all. This is really great. The Hyperion is really powerful, and it can even destroy this kind of energy shield. Su Yan said with a smile. He had just been worried for a long time, thinking that the energy shield could not hold on and would be shattered by the energy beam. But I didn't expect that this energy shield could last until now, which is really not easy. The Hyperion began to accelerate at this time and began to frantically attack the energy shield. This energy shield is constantly shaking. At this time, Su Yan has some concerns. If the Hyperion's energy runs out, he will be absorbed by this energy shield. Su Yan didn't dare to act rashly, he could only wait. Waiting for the Hyperion's energy to recover, he can continue to attack the energy shield. Su Yan could feel that this energy shield had been completely shattered. At this moment, Su Yan breathed a sigh of relief. The Hyperion's attack was too tyrannical. The energy beams of the Hyperion all attacked the energy shield. The Hyperion's energy beam attack only consumed some of the energy shield, but it still couldn't shatter the energy shield. The energy beam attack on the Hyperion has been exhausted. Su Yan saw that the energy shield had been completely shattered. Without any hesitation, Su Yan quickly controlled the Hyperion and attacked the super battleship. The main gun of the Hyperion began to attack the super battleship violently. Boom boom boom. Under the attack of the main artillery of the Hyperion, the various equipment on the super battleship suffered great damage. The Hyperion did not give up, and continued to face the super battleship, violently firing energy shells. Su Yan took control of the Hyperion and began to attack the super battleship violently. Boom. The Hyperion's energy cannonballs continuously bombarded the super battleship, battering the super battleship. Although this super battleship is very powerful, it has no ability to resist under Su Yan's energy beam attack. Soon, all the weapons and devices on this super battleship were destroyed, and all the energy shields were broken. The Hyperion continued to attack the super battleship violently. On the Hyperion, Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and attacked the super battleship frantically. This time, the energy beam attack lasted for about 2 minutes before it stopped. At this moment, a group of super space battleships came. They are the space patrols. These cosmic patrolmen have been here for a while. Of course, on their way there, they noticed Su Yan's presence. Su Yan is too hidden, so these people can't see Su Yan's appearance at all. They did not record Su Yan's appearance. Why is this person here? A space patrolman asked in surprise. This person is here, does he also want to enter the universe? Impossible, here, we have never heard of other people who can enter the universe. What is he doing here? Let's take a look at it first. The group of space patrolmen turned their attention to the Hyperion where Su Yan was. At this time, Su Yan was paying attention to the situation outside. The group of space patrolmen outside seemed to be watching him, which made Su Yan nervous for a while. It seems that they should be the space patrolmen of the space exploration team. Su Yan guessed. In this case, there is no need to hide your identity. At this time, Su Yan jumped directly from the Hyperion. Swish! He jumped off the Hyperion. And the space patrolman saw Su Yan. What is he trying to do? Let's follow him quickly. After Su Yan jumped off the Hyperion, he quickly ran forward. Who is he? These Cosmos patrolmen asked a Cosmos patrolman next to them one after another. The space patrolman frowned and thought. I seem to have seen this person somewhere, but I seem to have forgotten who this person is. Do you know him? Yes, when he first entered this universe, his identity information was leaked, but we don't know what happened next. We're going to track down this person now too. Su Yan didn't want to fight the space patrols in this place. Su Yan used the Hyperion's energy shield to block the attacks of the space patrolmen, so Su Yan has nothing to do now. Call out. Su Yan rushed straight ahead. Su Yan knew that if he didn't run away quickly, he might be caught. He had to leave this galaxy quickly. Boom boom boom. In front of Su Yan, there is a space patrol warship, which is firing energy beams at Su Yan. Su Yan didn't dare to stay in place, the Hyperion speeded up and rushed towards the universe. The energy beam attacks of the space patrolmen were all in vain. Su Yan quickly rushed towards the universe. The Hyperion was very fast, and Su Yan quickly got rid of the space patrolman behind. Ha ha ha. Su Yan laughed involuntarily. These space patrolmen are indeed a bunch of fools. In Su Yan's mind, a voice sounded. Su Yan frowned slightly and looked in the direction from which the voice came. Is that you? Su Yan looked over there suspiciously. There was a man standing there. The man was wearing a black robe, with a burly stature and looked very sturdy. This man is the one Su Yan saw when he was in the super carrier before. His name is Odin. There was a cold smile on the corner of Odin's mouth at this time. Odin saw Su-Yen and said, Su-Yen, we met again, but I didn't expect that we would meet again in the universe. Su-Yen saw Odin's appearance, and a smile appeared on his face. Odin, didn't you go looking for that cosmic spar? Why did you come here? Su-Yen asked suspiciously. Odin looked at Su-Yen and hummed disdainfully, Are you still looking for the cosmic spar? I think you want to get the cosmic spar. Su-Yen was stunned for a moment, and then he understood what Odin's words meant. Su-Yen smiled lightly and said, Odin, I really want to get the cosmic spar, but I won't use those dirty means to get it. Haha, dirty means? Odin's expression changed when he heard Su-Yen's words. Odin glared at Su-Yen and shouted angrily, Even if the members of our cosmic patrol team killed an alien beast, it is reasonable and legal. You said that the members of our cosmic patrol team used dirty means to obtain cosmic spar? Odin glared at Su-Yen. Su-Yen was a little dissatisfied when he heard Odin's words. He smiled coldly and said, Isn't it? You bastard. Odin said angrily, Without you, our team would not have failed, and we would not have sacrificed so many teammates. Damn it. Su-Yen's eyes narrowed slightly. He looked at Odin and said, What do you mean by this? What do you mean by sacrificing a lot of teammates? Do you know how many members we lost in that battle? These people are the elites that we have worked hard to cultivate. They are now dead. Odin's eyes were red, and he looked at Su-Yen, full of anger. Humph, these people are self-inflicted, no one is to blame. Su-Yen snorted coldly. Odin yelled angrily, Su-Yen, how dare you talk about others? If it wasn't for you, our team members wouldn't have died, and now you say it's someone else's fault. Odin's words are very sharp. You are slander. Su-Yen said, These people are greedy for life and fear of death. They dare not continue to search for the cosmic spar, and they choose to give up. Those people deserve it. If they are not greedy for life and fear of death, they will not die. These people do not need to sacrifice. Odin was furious when he heard Su-Yen's words. There were flames burning around his body. Flames flickered in Odin's eyes. He glared at Su-Yen, and said, Su-Yen, today I must take you down, let you suffer, and finally throw you into the abyss. Just because you want to kill me? 187, Su-Yen sneered. A strong killing intent erupted from Odin. His eyes became extremely sharp. He looked at Su-Yen and said, Su-Yen, do you think I am that Adrian? The team has already conquered the Milky Way, and even conquered other planets, and can get the cosmic spar. I can believe what you say, Odin, but I want to remind you that if the cosmic patrol does conquer the universe, then you will be expelled from the universe. Do you think anyone in your space patrol team dares to violate the rules of the universe? Su-Yen said. Humph, this is a matter of our cosmic patrol. I believe all the members of the cosmic patrol will not refute, because only I will be their leader. I will be able to lead them, conquer the galaxy, and I will be able to successfully obtain the cosmos. Just wait, spar. We will conquer the universe soon and drive these humans out of the galaxy. Odin's face is arrogant. Then I'll wait and see. There is a hint of contempt in Su-Yen's eyes. Since you are obsessed, we will not talk nonsense with you. As soon as Odin's voice fell, he controlled the space battleship and attacked directly in the direction of Su-Yen. Su-Yen saw the movements of Odin controlling the battleship. Odin controlled the battleship and rammed directly in front of Su-Yen. Su-Yen did not hesitate to control the Hyperion to counterattack. Boom! The Hyperion instantly collided with Odin's battleship. The two battleships were directly knocked into the air, and then crashed into a distant planet. Su-Yen's Hyperion has 5 times the speed of sound, while Odin's space battleship has 5 times the speed of sound, but it is not as fast as Su-Yen's Hyperion. Odin's space battleship was directly hit by Su-Yen, and also hit the planet directly. The Hyperion directly broke through the defensive wall on the surface of the planet and charged directly out. Su-Yen saw Odin's space battleship, rushed out from the planet, and chased it out. The speed of Odin's space battleship is extremely fast, and the speed of Su-Yen's space battleship is very amazing. so in the blink of an eye, Odin was pulled away. Odin's space battleship is a fast pursuit, and the speed is extremely fast, and there is no time for Su Yan to escape. Not long after, Odin's space battleship had broken through Su Yan's Hyperion and rushed into the void. Want to run? The corner of Odin's mouth outlined a gloomy smile, but my speed is much faster than yours, and you can't escape at all. Su Yan looked at Odin's space battleship that disappeared in the distance, and couldn't help but cursed inwardly, how could this old thing be so fast? I haven't used all my strength yet. Odin's voice came from a distance. Su Yan frowned. It seems that this time it is impossible to let it go. Odin had already planned to kill Su Yan. It's not that easy to kill me. Su Yan snorted coldly and controlled the Hyperion to chase after Odin's space battleship. Although the speed of Odin's battleship is very fast, the speed of Su Yan's Hyperion is not slow, so the two space battleships are chasing all the way. Su Yan's Hyperion kept increasing its speed and kept speeding forward, trying to leave Odin's space battleship behind. Su Yan, are you that capable? Odin's disdainful voice resounded in Su Yan's ears. Su Yan also ignored Odin, he just wanted to catch up with Odin and kill Odin. In this way, his goal was achieved. Su Yan has been chasing after the Hyperion. The speed of Odin's space battleship has reached the limit, but the speed of Su Yan's battleship has not decreased. Odin looked at Su Yan, who was speeding in front of him, his face became gloomy. Su Yan, since you want to die, I will send you on the road. Odin said through gritted teeth. Odin was controlling the space battleship, and he directly accelerated the speed and rammed towards Su Yan's battleship. Boom! The space battleship hit the Hyperion directly. The Hyperion was not injured in the slightest. The space battleship was shaken by the Hyperion. What? Odin's eyes widened, he never thought that Su Yan's battleship would be so strong. Su Yan's Hyperion rammed directly into Odin's battleship at this time. Odin's battleship was directly hit and rolled over. How is it possible? How can my space battleship be so weak? Odin said in disbelief. At this moment, Odin's heart was full of shock. Odin did not expect that Su Yan's battleship would be so hard and difficult to deal with. No matter how he attacked, his space battleship could not smash Su Yan's battleship, but his own space battleship was smashed into pieces by Su Yan's Hyperion. Su Yan's Hyperion directly penetrated Odin's space battleship and flew towards the distance. Su Yan, you can't run away! Odin yelled. Su Yan's speed was fast, and he didn't use much power, so he quickly overtook Odin. Odin's spaceships were chasing, but Su Yan was extremely fast. Soon, they had traveled tens of billions of light years away. Odin's face turned ashen. He didn't expect that Su Yan's speed would be so fast. His current space battleship, I don't know how many light years it flew. These distances are almost the same. Su Yan's space battleship has been out of his sight. Odin wants to find Su Yan's space battleship. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. You can't escape. I'll catch you. Odin roared. Odin controlled the space battleship and galloped forward quickly. He wanted to capture Su Yan's Hyperion and then torture Su Yan severely, but never caught up with Su Yan's Hyperion. How is that possible? Odin looked at his battleship and couldn't believe it. How could the speed of this human battleship be so fast? I can't believe it, I can't catch up with you. Odin continued to control the battleship and kept galloping forward, trying to catch up with Su Yan. Su Yan's space battleship has been galloping forward very fast. After traveling for hundreds of millions of light years, Odin saw the Hyperion. Odin's eyes lit up. Su Yan, I see where you are fleeing. Odin shouted loudly, controlled the battleship, and quickly rammed towards Su Yan's battleship. Su Yan saw Odin's battleship, snorted coldly, and steered the Hyperion toward Odin's battleship. Bump. Collided again. Constant attack. During this process, violent energy fluctuations erupted, and the energy splashed in all directions. Cosmic fragments continued to fall from the air and smashed toward the ground. It exploded continuously, producing huge energy. The Hyperion hit Odin's battleship directly. The space battleship was knocked out. Ah! Odin yelled angrily. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and quickly rushed towards Odin's space battleship. In this case, Odin controls the spaceship, constantly dodging the attacks of Su Yan's Hyperion. Odin is not Su Yan's opponent. Su Yan's attacks are wave after wave, without any interval at all, without the slightest fatigue, as if he never knows how tired he is. Damn it, damn it! Odin growled loudly. Odin looked at Su Yan's battleship, his face became extremely hideous. Odin didn't expect that Su Yan's Hyperion would be so difficult. No matter how the own battleship attacked, the Hyperion was not damaged, and the speed was getting faster and faster, constantly surpassing itself. What should I do? Odin kept thinking. The speed of the Hyperion was too fast. Even if it was his own space battleship, it would not be able to catch up in a short time, let alone capture Su Yan and torture him. The Hyperion didn't seem to be damaged. Instead, it became more and more brave as it fought, constantly attacking Odin's space battleship, and the space battleship hit the ground. No, this way, sooner or later, my space battleship will be damaged, and then I will no longer be able to drive my space battleship. The space battleship is one of Odin's most important weapons. If Su Yan destroys his own space battleship, Odin's combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced. Odin couldn't take this risk, so Odin could only give up, preparing to stop tracking Su Yan's battleship for the time being. He must quickly repair his space battleship, and when he recovers, it will be the moment of Su Yan's death. The space battleship flew directly into the depths of the interstellar space. Su Yan's battleship was in the rear, chasing him constantly. Odin, you can't escape, Su Yan sneered and controlled the Hyperion, continuously firing tyrannical energy cannons. One after another, the energy cannons were continuously shot towards Odin, constantly bombarding Odin's space battleship. Odin kept dodging Su Yan's energy cannons, but kept getting hit. During this process, the space battleship was bombarded by energy cannons and suffered a lot of damage. Damn bastard! I'm going to kill you. Odin looked at Su Yan and yelled angrily. He manipulated the space battleship and galloped quickly towards the front, trying to escape from here as soon as possible. Su Yan's battleship was very fast, and after a while, it caught up with Odin. The speed of Odin's space battleship is much worse than that of Su Yan's battleship. After a while, Odin's space battleship was completely thrown to the rear, and Su Yan's battleship had completely caught up with Odin's space battleship. Odin controls his own space battleship and wants to get rid of Su Yan's battleship, but finds that Su Yan's battleship is accelerating and catching up with his own battleship. How is that possible? Odin's eyes widened in disbelief. He controls the space battleship and wants to get rid of Su Yan's battleship. Destroy him for me and make him disappear completely, Su Yan said. One after another energy cannon blasted towards Odin's battleship. Although Odin's space battleship is very powerful, his defense is not as strong as that of the Hyperion. His battleship was swaying constantly, and the Hyperion would soon hit him. Odin's space battleship, which has been destroyed by 1/3, only has 2/3 of its energy, and is burning. He was also attacked again and again and again and again and again. His space battleship also became weaker and weaker. No, I am not reconciled. Su Yan, I will never let you go. Odin yelled wildly. His space battleship was beaten equals trembling constantly. Odin looked at Su Yan with hatred in his heart, but his eyes were also filled with fear. Damn bastard, I'm going to kill you. Odin roared. He manipulated his space battleship to quickly move towards Su Yan's battleship and rammed over it, trying to crash Su Yan's battleship. He can only do his best now. If he doesn't kill Su Yan, he will be killed by Su Yan sooner or later. Su Yan watched Odin's space battleship ram toward him, and couldn't help sneering. I really don't know whether to live or die. Could the Hyperion be destroyed so easily? The space battleship rammed towards Su Yan's battleship. The Hyperion also has a mecha, which has a very strong defense capability. Under the protection of this mecha, the space battleship could not hit the Hyperion at all. Odin did not intend to stop attacking the loss at this point. Su Yan dodged quickly, dodging Odin's attack. Space battleships shuttled constantly beside the Hyperion. Once again, the Hyperion evaded Odin's attack. Odin's attack failed again, and he was very annoyed in his heart. Odin looked at Su Yan and sneered, "Damn it, I want your battleship to be completely scrapped." Boom. Odin controlled the space battleship and slammed into the Hyperion. Suddenly, the Hyperion was pushed back some distance by Odin's battleship. The Hyperion carries a very powerful weapon system. Odin's battleship. He spent a long time in the galaxy to get his hands on it. He has never used it. This time he wanted to destroy Su Yan's battleship so that his battleship would be completely destroyed. Scrapped. Su Yan controls the Hyperion 187, constantly dodging the attacks of Odin's space battleship. Odin's battleship was hit hard, but it was not sunk by Su Yan either. The defense of his spaceship is very strong, otherwise, under the attack of Su Yan's Hyperion, he must have sunk. Damn it, the Hyperion, I'm going to destroy you. The Hyperion is moving rapidly across the universe. Bang! Operator. Odin's space battleship suddenly crashed into the Hyperion. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion, dodging quickly. However, Odin's space battleship kept crashing over, trying to destroy the Hyperion. Resist it with all your might. The speed of the Hyperion accelerated several times in an instant. The space battleship also accelerated rapidly, trying to catch up with the Hyperion and destroy the Hyperion completely. Under the control of Su Yan, the Hyperion traveled rapidly through the universe. Bang! Finally, Odin's space battleship collided with the Hyperion again. The two warships collided constantly. Odin's spaceship is his most powerful fighting machine, and he doesn't believe that his spaceship will lose. #**. Boom. Su Yan's Hyperion continued to slam into the front quickly, colliding with Odin's space battleship again and again. He kept hitting Odin's space battleship, constantly attacking Odin's space battleship. Odin's space battleship is also constantly colliding with the Hyperion, and the two space battleships are constantly colliding with each other. The space battleship was damaged by Su Yan's battleship, and the entire battleship was covered with cracks. The defensive power of the space battleship is very amazing, but before Su Yan's battleship, it seems so vulnerable. The space battleship was constantly rammed by Su Yan's battleship. Not long ago, he was damaged, and now only half of the nose is left, and the other parts are basically damaged. Su Yan kept hitting the Hyperion. Odin's face became extremely ugly. The machinery on his space battleship was smashed into pieces by Su Yan's battleship. If this goes on, it will be difficult for his space battleship to stand firm any longer. Damn it! Odin was furious. He steered his battleship, constantly ramming Su Yan. Su Yan controls the Hyperion and constantly resists Odin's attacks. Odin's space battleship was damaged by the Hyperion, and Su Yan's Hyperion was also damaged by some parts. The two warships kept ramming each other. Damn it! Odin's heart was angry. The two warships were entangled with each other, collided with each other, and hurt each other. A variety of colors and lights are constantly flashing, and a violent explosion occurs. Outside these two battleships, there are a large number of stars that are constantly exploding, shattering all the dust in the interstellar space. Two stars exploding at each other. The war between Su Yan and Odin has entered a white-hot stage. Su Yan was constantly manipulating the Hyperion, constantly ramming. The Hyperion kept attacking Odin's spaceship. Although the defense capability of Odin's space battleship is strong, he has also been seriously injured under the frantic impact of the Hyperion. His battleship has been seriously damaged, and the main guns of his space battleship are constantly spewing flames. Damn it! Odin's eyes widened, and his heart was full of anger. The defense of the Hyperion is too strong. Even if his space battleship is hit by the Hyperion, there is no problem. Odin kept ramming Suyan's Hyperion. The Hyperion rammed Odin's battleship, trying to destroy Odin's battleship. Odin's battleship was shaking constantly, as if it might crash at any time. Odin sailed fast, trying to escape the area where Suyan was. The Hyperion smashed Odin's battleship into tatters, and even the cockpit might be smashed to pieces. Boom! The Hyperion hit Odin's spaceship once again. His space battleship, under this impact, was finally smashed and fell from the void of the universe. Damn it! Odin was extremely angry. The space battleship had been severely damaged, and he could not control the battleship at all. The space battleship is constantly floating and falling in this void. His space battleship has been deformed, no longer looks like it used to be, and can't even see its original appearance. Damn it! Odin roared angrily, bloodshot in his eyes. The space battleship has been destroyed and cannot be repaired. Odin's heart was extremely angry. But his anger was of no use. Suyan's battleship still kept moving forward at high speed, chasing after him all the time. Boom! The Hyperion slammed into his spaceship. The space battleship, smashed into pieces, was completely scrapped. 2.6 In the cockpit of the Hyperion, Suyan's expression was calm, without any waves. Hit me hard, the Hyperion, smash that garbage ship. Suyan said lightly. The Hyperion kept ramming Odin's spaceship. However, Odin's space battleship, under the crazy impact of the Hyperion, also became weaker and weaker. Boom! After this impact, it completely disintegrated. Damn it! Odin's space battleship completely disintegrated. He controls his own space battleship and wants to recover, but he can't recover. The main guns of his spaceship had been scrapped, and his joystick had been knocked off by the Hyperion. His space battleship was completely scrapped. Damn it! Odin's heart was full of endless anger. He kept roaring, he wanted revenge, but he couldn't do anything. Odin's heart was very aggrieved. His battleship had been scrapped, and he had suffered a heavy blow. Keep chasing. Suyan controlled the Hyperion and continued to chase after Odin. In this galaxy, constantly shuttled, approaching Odin little by little. Odin kept struggling, trying to break free, but to no avail. He had no way to stop the Hyperion's attack. He could only ponder in his heart, damn bastard, I will definitely get back to this place. But he no longer had this chance. The wreckage of Odin's space battleship kept floating towards the void of the universe. At this time, Suyan's Hyperion also stopped attacking. He controlled the Hyperion and wandered towards the stars. The wreckage of the space battleship kept floating, and soon disappeared into the void, not knowing where it went. Odin's space battleship was destroyed. 31. Suyan controlled the Hyperion and continued to float in the void, continuing to drift towards the depths of the galaxy. Suyan's destination is the Milky Way. If Odin's battleship was not near the galaxy, Suyan would not have found Odin's battleship so quickly. Now that Odin's space battleship has been scrapped, it is no longer enough to threaten Suyan. So, he was going to return to the galaxy to find the traces of those warships. Suyan soon arrived on the planet of the Federation of Stars. Suyan controlled the Hyperion and continued to fly forward, and soon entered the Milky Way. In the starry sky of the Milky Way, there is peace. Suyan steered the Hyperion and kept galloping forward. After a while, the Hyperion entered the depths of the Milky Way. The size of the Hyperion was too huge, and it kept floating in the void of the universe, which soon caused a huge movement. A huge beam of light was ejected from the Hyperion, hitting a nearby planet in an instant. The Hyperion shot out hundreds of beams in a row, and the planet was pierced immediately, and the entire planet was penetrated by the beams and exploded completely. Damn it! The Hyperion can easily destroy planets, it's terrifying. How did the Hyperion do it? Who is the human on the Hyperion? In the Milky Way, there are some powerful civilized races, and their eyes are all on the Hyperion, looking at Su Yan on the Hyperion. The mighty power of the Hyperion completely frightened them. The Hyperion was so powerful that it could easily destroy a galaxy. Su Yan's Hyperion is an extremely terrifying warship that has the power to destroy the galaxy. The Hyperion was also able to destroy all space battleships, including all kinds of spaceships in the star system, by relying on his powerful strength, and it was unable to resist his blow. Wherever the Hyperion passes, all galaxies and the universe will be destroyed, including the star system and some of the administrative galaxies of the star system, which have been destroyed by the Hyperion. These mighty civilizations were all terrified by the terrifying power of Su Yan's Hyperion. The position of the Hyperion in the galaxy is very prominent. This powerful force is what they are afraid of, and they dare not provoke the Hyperion at will. The Hyperion is generally rarely seen in the void of the universe. Unless there are powerful galaxies, star systems, planetary systems, etc. in some special places, or some star regions, the attack of the Hyperion will be detected by galaxies and star systems. The power of the Hyperion is simply too powerful. The position of the Hyperion in the galaxy is like an aircraft carrier. Wherever it passes, those spaceships and star systems have all avoided the Hyperion and are unwilling to provoke the Hyperion. Floating in the starry sky, Su Yan's Hyperion is very fast, reaching tens of millions of kilometers in 1 second. 1 second is equivalent to the ordinary speed of light, millions of kilometers, or even more. Therefore, the speed of the Hyperion is also very fast. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion, and soon flew to a galaxy, getting closer and closer to the Milky Way. Among the galaxies, there are also many planets, and these planets are civilized life, multiplying in the civilization. Just before reaching the Milky Way, Su Yan stopped. Inside the cabin of the Hyperion, Su Yan stood up. Has it finally arrived in the Milky Way? Su Yan thought to himself. The Hyperion landed in a massive star system. This star system is also the most important star system in the Milky Way. Outside this star system, there are many small stars, and on these small stars, there are civilizations living one by one. Those civilizations are also powerful civilizations one by one, including many star-field civilizations. The top of them are naturally the top civilizations of the Star Alliance. This planet in the Milky Way is called Alpha. Alpha Star is a relatively famous galaxy in the Milky Way, and 187 is also a moderately remote galaxy in the Milky Way. In this galaxy, there are not many planets and not many cities. And Su Yan's journey this time is on this Alpha Star. Su Yan piloted the Hyperion and landed next to a star about hundreds of light-years in size. The technology in Alpha Star is very backward, and there is no large star in the Milky Way. Su Yan landed on Alpha. Is this the Alpha Star? The Hyperion was flying in the Alpha Star. Su Yan looked around, which was a relatively desolate planet. On the star network among Alpha Stars, Su Yan inquired about some information about Alpha Star. There are still many planets around, but they are all small planets, and there is no powerful civilization at all. The environment of Alpha Star is not bad. As long as you are a little careful, there should be no problems. Su Yan thought to herself. The Hyperion stayed on Alpha for a while, and Su Yan's Hyperion flew into some galaxies of Alpha and found an interstellar port, ready to dock in the interstellar port and take a rest. The Hyperion entered the interstellar port. This interstellar port is a commercial spaceship, and there is a small square on the deck of the commercial spaceship. This small square is very large, more than 1,000 square meters in size, and several high-rise buildings have been built around the square. In the square, there are all kinds of spaceships. Su Yan met many passengers. In the interstellar port, many commercial spaceships are parked here, and many passengers fly from the interstellar port to the starry sky outside the interstellar port. It's so lively. Su Yan looked at the scene in front of her with a look of surprise. Among these starry sky, it can be said that the situation is changing. The civilization in the Milky Way has developed extremely rapidly in these years. Among these civilizations in the starry sky, many powerful civilizations have been born. There are some interstellar civilizations. These interstellar civilizations have a special means to control the planets in the starry sky. This method is to use space wormholes to transfer planets to other planets. For ordinary human beings, it is simply a disaster. In the starry sky, the distortion and tearing of space cannot be defended against. Once there is some spatial turbulence, it will harm the body of ordinary people. If there is no certain means to defend against spatial turbulence, it is a dead end. In the starry sky, space wormholes are a dangerous existence. It is very difficult for ordinary spaceships to fly out of the starry sky. However, in the hands of some civilizations, they also have some special technologies that can control some space wormholes in the starry sky and shuttle out of the starry sky. These civilizations are all very powerful civilizations, and there are many methods of civilization that are unimaginable to ordinary people. As described in those science fiction movies, some superpowers have a mysterious method that can transfer some substances in the starry sky to a certain star field or a certain location, thereby changing the shape of the star field. Of course, this transmission method has some limitations. For example, an interstellar warship can be teleported from a certain area of the star field to another area, but if you want to transmit other planets to another star field, it will take a lot of effort. Even if the consumption is huge, it cannot be done. The means in these interstellar civilizations are very rare and precious, and even those superplanets are difficult to obtain. Those planets also rarely use these means easily. In the universe where Su Yan lives, although there are many planets, there are not many planets that can really walk in this universe. Take Alpha Star for example, this planet also has 18. Half of these 18 planets belong to the jurisdiction of Alpha Star, and all the resources in this area are also owned by Alpha Star. The interstellar route in the starry sky is controlled by the interstellar spacecraft. Starships were built by some powerful civilizations. These interstellar ships, sailing in the starry sky, also need to consume a lot of resources. These resources are also extracted from these interstellar ships. These interstellar ships sail very fast in the starry sky, and ordinary people cannot catch up. This time, Su Yan was sitting on the Hyperion, in the interstellar port, observing the surrounding scenery. Huh? Su Yan suddenly discovered that there was a layer of white mist floating around the starship they were riding on. These mists, very thin, looked like water mist, but Su Yan knew that it was not water mist. It is the energy in the stars. Energy is the most easily absorbed energy and the most easily polluted energy. It is a very terrifying energy. These are the energies carried by those large interstellar ships in the stars. This interstellar ship is obviously a high-level interstellar ship. This high-level interstellar ship is controlled by a high-level interstellar ship. Seeing this, Su Yan suddenly became a little excited. At this time, some passengers walked out from the interstellar port. The moment they went out, a picture appeared in Su Yan's field of vision. In the vicinity of this interstellar ship, a cloud of white mist shrouded the entire ship. These mists continued to spread around, but soon, these mists slowly gathered back. It was like a giant net covering the entire interstellar ship. The fog is also very thin, but Su Yan can still see it clearly. The fog is composed of planets, wrapping the interstellar ship, forming a huge net. These planets are all residents of interstellar civilization, and they are also crew members on interstellar ships. The number of these people is very large, densely packed, and huge in number. These people are all on the interstellar ship. Su Yan knew that these people came from some powerful civilizations, and they came to Alpha. Su Yan had also heard of this civilization before, this civilization, called the Alpha civilization, which was a very powerful civilization. Not only is it ranked 9th among the civilizations of the universe, but this civilization is also the first civilization in the universe, and the second civilization is the civilization of the Silver Wing planet. Among the Silver Winged planets, civilizations are also relatively powerful. They are the top 5 civilizations in the galaxy. They have a lot of wisdom, and they also have some powerful science and technology. And the leader of this civilization is called a cartel. Cartel is a top powerhouse among the star civilization. This civilization ranks 9th among the interstellar civilizations. The interstellar civilization scientist civilization has very advanced weapons, as well as some powerful technologies. The scientific research strength of this scientist civilization is very strong. They have very advanced construction machinery, and they have very strong scientific research methods. In the starry sky, any interstellar resources can be transported to the scientific research base of the scientist civilization, and then these interstellar resources can be used for scientific research. In the starry sky, all kinds of resources are scarce. This scientist civilization has a very strong scientific research strength in the interstellar space, and it can be said to be the top scientist civilization in the interstellar space. In the interstellar, various technologies are very developed, but there is no effective technology. And these scientist civilizations, relying on their powerful scientific and technological power, swept the major interstellar civilizations in the interstellar, and occupied a lot of resources. Su Yan looked at the information of the spaceship and knew the name of the starship. It has a unique name called Interstellar Explorer. The Interstellar Explorer is a specialized interstellar exploration ship for the Alpha civilization. This ship can carry 100,000 passengers and more than 100 spaceships, and can travel among the stars. It can be said to be a very powerful interstellar exploration ship, and only a civilization as powerful as the Alpha civilization can have a huge spaceship like an interstellar ship. Among these interstellar exploration ships, some scientists are loaded. These scientists are the core figures of the Alpha civilization. This interstellar expedition ship is a scientist's private spacecraft, and it has not been displayed in public. Except for the officials of Alpha civilization and those scientists, no one knows the existence of this spacecraft. This spaceship is a very powerful interstellar exploration ship. This interstellar exploration ship can carry a large number of powerful characters of interstellar civilization into various universes. On this interstellar expedition ship, there are a large number of spaceships, as well as various scientific research institutions and industrial bases. This interstellar expedition ship is the main force of Alpha Civilization's 187th Legion, and it is also a gathering place for Alpha Civilization researchers. An interstellar ship can travel for a long time in the solar system, it can travel through space, and even traverse the star system. This is a very advanced interstellar exploration ship and a very powerful spaceship. However, although the interstellar ship is powerful, its speed is very slow, because the interstellar ship must be driven by energy before it can travel. If there is no energy drive, then the interstellar ship cannot travel in space, nor can it fly in space. Su Yan looked at the pictures in the interstellar ship and knew that the interstellar ship was very advanced. Su Yan saw that on the outer shell of the interstellar expedition ship, there was a silver emblem with 3 words, Star Alliance. Su Yan knew that the owner of this interstellar exploration ship was a member of the Interstellar Alliance. These scientists are all scientists of the Alpha Civilization. They are in the interstellar ships and are responsible for scientific exploration. And the Alpha Civilization has been in this universe for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years ago, this interstellar exploration ship already existed in this universe. It also stayed for a period of time, and it traveled very smoothly and very stable in the universe. The technology of Alpha Civilization can be said to be very advanced. However, Su Yan knew that the more technologically advanced the civilization, the more dangerous it was. Because their technology is more advanced, they are more vulnerable to attack. Therefore, the Star Alliance has not been stationed in this universe for a long time. After staying in this interstellar space for decades, he left this interstellar space and returned to the Alpha Galaxy. Because the speed of the interstellar ship is extremely fast, and within the interstellar ship, there are very advanced equipment that can send scientists in the interstellar spacecraft to other star fields for scientific exploration. This interstellar exploration ship was sent by the Alpha Civilization. Interstellar exploration ships are very fast and can perform long-distance space jumps. Alpha civilization relies on interstellar ships to conduct interstellar voyages. These interstellar exploration ships can travel over 100 million light-years in 1 month, 10,000 light-years in 1 day, and 10,000 light-years in half a year. These interstellar exploration ships are very powerful and can be said to be the best among the interstellar ships, and they can also be said to be the best among scientists. Alright, we're all set to take off. The scientists in the interstellar ship reported to a middle-aged man in the cockpit, who was the person in charge of the interstellar exploration, DBCG, ship. Okay, let's go. The middle-aged man nodded and said, and then he picked up the remote control button and operated the interstellar ship, slowly rising. The interstellar ship took off, slowly floated in the air, and then flew into the sky. Su-yen stood aside, he looked at the interstellar expedition ship, gradually disappeared from his field of vision, and couldn't help feeling very emotional. The interstellar exploration ship is a very powerful interstellar exploration ship. It can be said that its strength is very powerful, and its ability to travel in the universe is also very powerful. Among the interstellar expedition ships, there are some technological means, and their flight speed is very amazing. If the interstellar exploration ship can use the teleportability, then it can fly from 100 light-years away to 1,000 light-years in 1 second, and it can fly 2,000 light-years away, a place of thousands of light-years. The interstellar exploration ship has a great advantage. It can use the ability to jump in space, and can appear in various places in the universe in an instant, and navigate in the universe. However, this technology has not been mastered by the Alpha civilization. Interstellar exploration ships will not appear on any living planet at will. Their goal is only the Alpha galaxy, and only when they reach the Alpha galaxy will they use the ability of interstellar jump to enter the Alpha galaxy. Su-yen also asked the scientists of the Alpha civilization. They all said that in this world, there are many more powerful science and technology than interstellar exploration ships, and their technology is far more powerful than interstellar exploration ships, but they have been hiding their own technology. Su-yen looked at the interstellar expedition ship and gradually disappeared from his sight. He couldn't help shaking his head. Su-yen is still very aware of the capabilities of interstellar exploration ships, which are very powerful. The interstellar expedition ship can also shuttle among the planets, so this interstellar expedition ship can enter space so easily, and can fly in the universe. The interstellar expedition ship has not encountered the harassment of the enemy in the planet of the Alpha civilization. Amos, what do you think? At this time, in a secret base in the Alpha galaxy, there was an old man standing beside Amos. The old man was wearing a white robe, a hat on his head, and a face with a pair of black-rimmed glasses that look very ordinary and thin. This old man is the scientist of the Alpha galaxy. His name is Amos, and he is also the most famous scientist of the Alpha galaxy. Hearing the words of the scientist beside him, Amos was silent for a while, and then said, "The interstellar ship is an extremely advanced interstellar exploration ship, and this kind of interstellar exploration ship is very difficult to capture. Therefore, this time in the Alpha galaxy interstellar exploration is very important." Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.